Hey guys, I'm back and welcome to my new tank review. So I've gone for quite a large upgrade, which you can see right here. And it's it's a big upgrade. This is the Juwel Rio 125. And it's an absolute monster compared to this one, 50 liters versus 125. There's quite a big gap there. So I'm actually struggling to fit it into shotgun. I'm actually going to stay over here. So I've already got the lights for it, which is the Red Sea LED 50s. I've got two of those on there, so it's 100 watts. I'll get to those a little bit later in the video. So yeah, let's first cover the tank. So as I said, this is a 125 litre tank, but in the flesh it looks much bigger. If I didn't know how big this tank was, my straight up guess would be about 200 to 250 litres. In the flesh it does look a lot bigger than it does on camera. It does come with the filtration. Again, I'll get to that later. So the dimensions of this tank is 80 centimeters long, 36 centimeters wide, and height wise it's 50 centimeters, including this pelmet. So there's four different types of colors that you can get these tanks in. So I've gone for the white. There's white, there's black, there's a light oak, and there's a dark oak, which is kind of like this. There is two different types of this tank. There's a freshwater version and there's a marine version. The only difference is the light. It does come with a light, which I do have in this corner here. So it's just two T5 lightings, one's white, one's blue. Really standard to keep soft and LPS corals. Definitely not an SPS, where you could try the lower level types of SPS like I've got in here. But I really recommend upgrading to something like this. But there is a cost in it, really. Yeah, but I will still be having a lid on this tank, but it's not going to be like a sealed lid. It's going to be a jump guard, either the Red Sea jump guard or the D&D net covers. So it's just so the fish don't jump. So I will be getting evaporation for this tank. So I'm going to have to invest in a dehumidifier in the house, and an auto top off system, which will go down here. I'm gonna have to get a little 20 or 30 litre reservoir down here with RO water in, and that auto top off the tank so it doesn't drop any lower than this line here, which is a sticker that comes on the tank. So you see the highest and the lowest, so you can always keep an eye on exactly where your water line should be, which is really good. And the stand is actually, I mean, yeah, it comes with a shelf, which is good. It's quite a big stand. You've got quite a bit of space down there. So I've just roughly put in those electrics for the light at the moment, and the doors are spring loaded, which means that you just push and that's it. Very similar to the Red Sea doors, and it's very compared to the Red Sea. Let's take like the Red Sea Reefer 250. It's very similar size and look wise to this. Their doors, annoyingly, they make like a click sound. This is just really silent, that is, and it's really it's a better feel. And with the Red Sea ones, they're completely flat on the ground, whereas these have little black feet on the ground, which I prefer. It's just I think it's going to help keep the tank more level. And yeah, that's the tank and stand. I obviously got the logo right in the middle there. And filtration wise, this does have a lid somewhere. Here is this little lid for it. I've just got that off temporarily. So that will go on there like so. So it does come with pump and heater, which well, the pump is quite reliable. Heater, yeah, they're alright, but I will be upgrading to the titanium heat bar, which the exact same one I'm running on my fluval tank. But I can't improve this pump, which is pretty good. How it comes, it's a 550 litre hour pump, which is actually less than this nano tank. Which I got 600 litre an hour pump on there, and on this is like I think it's a 550, 560. So as usual, I will be modifying this internal filter. I'm going to be going for the Biohome Ultimate Marine. So so most of it's going to be filled out of biological, which is the same one I'm using in my fluval. And then on the top, I will just be running a little pad down here, something just like this, little thin pad to trap everything. It's not going to be a sponge, it's going to be a pad this time. Yeah, that will trap everything. Nothing's going through there apart from pure water. And then, well, anyway, that's mechanical, and then biological. Obviously, it'll be about 2.2 kilos worth of biological, just filled up as much as I can in there. And it does enter through not just one, not but two, but three different ways in here. So the bottom ones, so the ones at the bottom, they come in there, they come up here, overflow, and then they go down, and they all do end up, so all the water does go down eventually, so it'll fill up through there, go up, down, same on the one in the corner, and then this one obviously goes down, and then it'll get sucked up this pump here, and then blown out here, which is a little nozzle, which is alright. You could probably put a few attachments on there, like a random flow generator or dual outlet nozzles, but I'm just going to keep the same, this little jet. It's not worth fiddling about with, but always a really new cool thing this tank come with. And I've seen reviews on these tanks and people haven't really I've never seen these before, but it came with like this little brush thing, so as obviously to clean out pumps and stuff. So if you want to clean that nozzle out, easy, just brush it up in there. It's really easy. I love that little thing. One of the best things that came with that thing. Amazing. So quite basic filtration. Now, what is a really good thing as well, if the pump stops, it's alright because it's all in the tank anyway. I've still got flow and agitation in the tank, and it can still like go down a little bit and exit and that. So it's so if the pump stops, you haven't got an issue. It's you got a couple of days until you can start to sort it out. So that's the tank and filtration, which is quite good. And lighting wise, I've gone quite expensive. These are the Red Sea LED 50s. These are new out in the past, I'm trying to think, 3 months, I think, 3-4 months. So these are the 50s, which means they're 50 watts each. That's 100 watts over a 125 litre tank, which is, I'm not going to be running those at 100 watt. I have got a lot of controllability with these lights, so it'd be good to experiment a bit more with these lights, see what they're like. And they do have, I'm going to try and get the mic right up against the fan there. I'm going to watch this video back, see if you'll be able to pick up that fan, but there is a little noise in there, which isn't noticeable. It's only when you get your ear right up against the light, you can hear the fan running. So there's a constant fan that's going to be running, constantly cooling down the LED, because when I put my hand on there, I can feel quite a bit of warmth. And oh god, that is actually quite, it's not hot, but I can feel a little bit of warmth from here. And bear in mind, these lights are a 1% power out of 100%. I've got there's white and blue, and then there's a moon. I've got 1% blue, 1% white, so like I'm using about, I don't know, a quarter of a watt out of 50, which is quite low. I have to run them low just because, look, I get lines all over the screen when I run the LEDs at too high power. So just to keep, until I get water in it, I'll be running these LEDs for low power just for the videos. So I will have to gradually increase the wattage of these lights when I'm doing the transfer of everything in here into the new system, because it'll be quite a bit of a shock otherwise if I just start right at full pelt. So over the course of 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to be gradually increasing flow, lights and parameters, just because I don't want to lose anything. And you guys, well, some of you might be familiar with these tanks. Black background, I've done that today. So I've just painted this black. It's still wet at the moment, just to make the corals pop a little bit more against the black instead of like a glass clear thing. And it does hide the cables of the lights, well, everything that goes down the back. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything that I've got for this tank, and in the next video, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start to see water in there, and then the week after that, we're gonna try and start to begin some kind of transfer. So all the livestock, everything in there is going in the new system, apart from the sand. I'm going to start with a fresh sand bed. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I'll catch you next week with water. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.